Hi, welcome to today's yoga practice. I'm so glad you're here with me today. My name is Arielle, and if this is your first yoga class ever, welcome. If you've done yoga before, welcome back. I'm very excited because today we are celebrating a big holiday in America this week. It's July 4th, and you might be excited about something that your family is doing this year as well. And so we've got a special class planned. I'm going to tell you all about it. First, we're going to start with connection, and that's to ourselves and to each other in America and around the world too. We're going to do a breathing exercise and then move our bodies through many yoga poses. So strong bodies today. We have 17 yoga poses to get through, and you can do it. I'll remind you, while we do our poses, you can always rest if you feel like resting. You can skip a pose or change it to make it better for you. You always have that choice in yoga. You're in charge of your body. We will practice stillness and rest. We'll focus our minds and always end with kind hearts. So that's our plan. Let's get started. When we're thinking about connection today, I want you to start thinking about what you know about the American Constitution. And the second paragraph is pretty cool. It starts off with these words: "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." And I do think they mean women as well. All people are created equal. We know that. They are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, and that means all people everywhere have rights. Among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And what's really cool is that connects with yoga. So the American Constitution connects with yoga because of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so what I want to share with you is a mantra. Now, this is Sanskrit, which is an ancient Indian language. And I'm going to teach the words to you as we sound them out. So in the middle, this is how it's written in Sanskrit. It's a beautiful, beautiful language. And these words are Loka, and you can say it with me, Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. Bhavantu. So all together, Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. And these words mean, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. We're going to come back to this idea again at the end of our class today. So don't forget about it. Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free in America and all around the world. We're ready for breathing. For our breathing exercise, we are going to look to the American flag. Stars! We're going to do our star breath today, and you might know this one. Let's do it together. We're going to trace the outside of the star together. So breathing in, breathing out. In, out. In, out. This is our star breathing exercise. You can do this with your own star at home, or you can pretend your hand is a star and do it there too. So we feel connected. We did our breathing. Let's get moving. Our first yoga pose today also comes from the flag and is also a star. We are going to do star pose. So to do star pose, you stand up, step your feet apart, and reach your arms out big. And you can always do your poses in a chair or on the floor too, if you don't feel like standing. So make your body into a star. Stretch, great, big stretch. Reach through your feet, reach through your arms. How big can you get? 2 more breaths. Stretch out your body, be the biggest, boldest star. Just like a star, I shine bright. Awesome. Our next yoga pose is an American symbol. You might know the Statue of Liberty. How can we do a yoga pose that's like the Statue of Liberty? Let me show you. This is called extended mountain pose. So we stand up and raise our arms. Stand tall like a mountain. Just like the Statue of Liberty welcomes people to America, we can also welcome people in our neighborhoods, in our towns and cities, in our states, and in our countries. So if people look differently, if people talk differently, if people move differently, like they have a wheelchair or a walker or crutches, we welcome all people. All right, turn your body to a star. Statue of Liberty. Star. Statue of Liberty. Star. Statue of Liberty. Star. Liberty. Star. Liberty. Star. Liberty. Star. Liberty. Star. Liberty. Oh my goodness. Oh. You can rest. When I use the belly in yoga, that means we can rest. You can choose to stand up, or you can sit to rest. Awesome work, everyone. Let's keep going. So we're going to keep using some American symbols and people and activities as we do our poses today. So our next yoga pose comes from George Washington. And George Washington is the first president of the United States and is very famous for being a general in the Revolutionary War. And so when George Washington crossed the Delaware on a boat, he had to be brave. He had to stand up for what he believed in and commit. So we are going to be brave in our warrior pose. We put one foot in front, one foot in back, and reach your arms up tall. Be brave like George Washington. Let's be here for 2 more breaths, strong and brave. Now switch feet. Not everybody believed in the American Revolution, and George Washington had to convince them. Bend your front knee. You have to stand up for what you believe in, and that's what George Washington did. Nice warrior poses. Resting pose. Our next yoga pose comes from the Constitution. It's the Declaration of Independence. And you're thinking, how can a piece of paper be a yoga pose? We are going to imagine that we're sharing this piece of paper, this Declaration of Independence, with all 13 colonies. So let's stand up. Imagine that you can sit in a chair and then lift up the Declaration of Independence and share with everyone. Breathe in, breathe out. Like the Declaration of Independence was a bold act. We can be bold also. Sometimes that means being a little surprising. You might surprise yourself in your chair pose. Be strong. Can you sit a little bit lower? Take a big breath in and stand up. Rest. Remember, you can skip any poses you like or get a drink of water anytime you need it. Now, the Declaration of Independence and the American Constitution were signed not with pens and not on computers, but with quill pens, feather pens. So we're going to do a pose to turn our bodies into something like a quill pen. This is extended side angle pose. To come into this pose, we put one foot in front, one foot in back, lean forward, and I've got my elbow on my knee here, and then imagine I was a quill pen, so a long feather, and reach up to turn your body into a diagonal. As you come into your quill pen shape, your extended side angle pose, you might get a stretch here in your legs. You might feel your muscles working hard in your legs and in your belly area. Let's breathe here. So when the writers of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were writing, they were writing something that had never been done before. Come up, switch sides. So the writers had to be really creative. Bend your knee, rest on your elbow, and reach your arm long. We can be creative too. In yoga, we practice being creative and using our imaginations as we do our poses. Take a breath in, breath out, stand up, and rest. Our next yoga pose is going to be down on the floor. This is a really nice stretch. And this pose is to honor Betsy Ross, who is the person who sewed the very first American flag. That's pretty cool. And if you visit Philadelphia, my friend's mom is actually the person who lives at the Betsy Ross house and dresses like her and teaches you about her. So if you know Betsy Ross in Philadelphia, let me know in the comments because we know the same person. All right, to do our Betsy Ross pose, we're going to do cobbler's pose. So we sit down, feet together, knees out. Now, Betsy Ross was sewing the very first American flag in her lap. And we can imagine we're sewing. You can roll your hands. Or if you'd like to stretch and relax in your cobbler's pose, you can lean forward, try to touch your nose all the way to your toes. We've got 3 breaths, whether you're doing your stretch or you're sewing. Now, Betsy Ross was dedicated. She never gave up. And we can be dedicated and strong also. Rest. You can rest sitting or standing. We just talked about Betsy Ross, who sewed the American flag, so it makes sense that our next pose is going to be an American flag pose. To do this pose, we are going to balance. If you need to hold on to a chair, a table, a couch, or a partner, you can hold on. So let's do this pose together. To do American flag pose, you put your favorite foot in front, reach one hand all the way forward, and you might get to the floor, or you might reach your chair, float your leg in the back, and then lift up like a flagpole. And we try to balance here. And like the flag gives hope, we can too, by encouraging each other and loving each other. Let's take one more breath, try to balance. And then stand up. Whoa. Shake it out. Try it on the other foot. Arms out. Fly forward. Whoa. Spread out your legs. Spread out your arms. And see if you can balance here. American flag pose. Giving hope. Spreading love. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rest. Sit down or stand up. For our next pose, we are going to go down to Washington, D.C. And a very famous and important building in Washington, D.C. is called the Capitol Building, and it has this beautiful dome on top. So we are going to pretend our bodies are the Capitol Building. We're going to do that in downward facing dog. To get into downward facing dog pose, we put our hands on the mat, step our feet to the back of the mat, and turn your body into kind of a triangle shape. So you lift your hips up. And you can imagine that in the Capitol building, there are senators and there are people working in the House of Representatives, all of these elected officials. And so, like they do in Washington, D.C., we can imagine the ways that we help fight for the rights of all people. And what's really cool is that even if you're not old enough to vote, you can talk to your parents about voting and talk about ways that you can help. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Rest. Sitting or standing. I have a small peace bell that we use in our yoga class. There is a very famous, very large bell in Philadelphia. It's called the Liberty Bell. And it looks like this. Now, to do a Liberty Bell pose, we are going to lift up our bodies and shine our hearts forward. So let's do this pose together. You start on your stomach. Reach back and try to find your feet somewhere back there. It's okay if you can't reach, you can just imagine. And then we try to lift up our bodies away from the mat. For some people, this is really kind of an easy and feel-good pose. For some people, it hurts a little bit. And then you can kind of ease up. Let's try to lift up. And we can think that the Liberty Bell is known for spreading truth. So we can be honest and speak truth also. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Rest. Sit or stand. Take a breath. You're doing great. Let's keep going. Our next pose is a symbol of America. It is our national bird, and it's the bald eagle. You probably knew that already. Did you know there's a yoga pose really and truly called eagle pose? We're going to try it now. To do eagle pose, we need to twist up our bodies and try to balance. So this can be a tricky one. You stand on your favorite leg, wrap one foot around, and try to tuck it around in the back. Sit a little bit low, and then wrap your arm like a pretzel all the way around. And this is eagle pose. And I'll turn sideways so you can see what that looks like from the side also. So I'm all wrapped up. This can be hard to balance, and you can try it leaning against a wall. That makes it a little easier. So let's be an eagle here. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Imagine you're soaring and flying. And feel happy. All right, stand up, stretch. Oh, and we'll try to wrap up the other way. Remember, you can use a wall to help you balance. Wrap one leg over the other. Sit low. Wrap your other arm under. Twist yourself up into eagle pose. Let's be here for a couple breaths, soaring high and happy. And the pursuit of happiness is one of our rights for ourselves and for all Americans. All right, stand up and rest. That's a really, really hard pose. Our next pose is a fun one we do standing up. And the 4th of July usually has fireworks as part of the celebration. So we're going to do a fireworks pose. To do fireworks pose, we make our body into the shape of a triangle. One foot toes forward, One foot back, toes sideways, and then we're gonna tilt. Bottom hand on your ankle, top hand up. This is triangle pose. You can imagine your top hand is fireworks. What kind of fireworks are you? Bold and bright, loud or quiet, or maybe the twinkling kind. Take a breath in and out. Fireworks remind me of all the colors of the rainbow and all the colors of humanity. Right? People come in all colors too. And we can celebrate that. So stand up, turn your front toes in and your back toes back. Hands on your hips, tilt the other way. And come into your fireworks pose. Hand on your ankle, your other hand up top. We'll celebrate all the colors and all the fireworks here also. 3 breaths. Awesome. Stand up and rest. Breath in, breath out. We're about halfway through our yoga poses. Our next pose is a little tricky, and this one honors one of America's pastimes. It might be your favorite sport. It's baseball. So when baseball players hit the ball, they have to twist a lot. That's what we are going to do. Twist our bodies like we're hitting a baseball. Let's try it together. So we come into a bent knees chair position. Hands at your heart. Swing and twist. And I've got my elbow to my knee here. This is a tricky place to balance, so let's try it. We have to be strong and practice a lot, just like baseball players. Strong and practice. Nothing comes on the first try. We always practice, practice, practice. In yoga too. Stand up. Whew. Let's try twisting the other way. Sit into your chair, hands at your heart. Imagine you've got your baseball bat, swing the other way, and twist. Hook your knee. I'll show you from the front. This is the way my twist looks. Try to balance, be strong, and practice. Breath in and out. Stand up or sit down and rest. Our next yoga pose is one of my favorites to do. It's kind of tricky. Let's see how you like it. And this is going to be a sparkler pose today. To do sparkler pose, it's going to be dancer's pose. And it's okay if your dancer's pose doesn't look exactly like the picture. Remember, we're just practicing. Let's see how it goes. To try out dancer's pose, stand up. Step into one foot and catch your other foot with your hand. Focus your eyes somewhere in front of you that won't move and imagine you're holding a sparkler. All right, when you're ready, kick into your hand and lift your sparkler high. Try to balance. Whoa, let the wobbles be part of your practice. And stand up. Oh, your sparkler ran out. Let's do another one. Light it on the other side. Catch your other foot. Hold your sparkler forward. Let your light shine. I think sparklers are beautiful and remind us that we each have a light. And together, we shine bright. Breathe in. Breathe out. And rest. Awesome. We've got just a few more poses together. Rest is coming soon. For our next pose, this is something that you might eat on the holiday weekend. It's on the grill and it's a hamburger. And what's really fun about hamburgers is people like them all different ways. This picture has tomato, cheese, hamburger, lettuce, and a bun. You might like all those things or none of those things. You might like ketchup or mustard. You might like relish. Pickles? What else could go on a hamburger? There's so many ways to do it. So we're gonna do child's pose together in a way that feels good in your body. Let's explore. Come onto your knees, sit back, and let your head come to the mat. Some people like to do child's pose with their hands forward. Some people like to do child's pose with their hands like a pillow under their head. Some people like to do child's pose with their hands reaching back to your feet. So you can pick your favorite way. Close your eyes. Think about a hamburger and all the different ways that it can dress up. Just like hamburgers, different people dress differently. And we can accept and appreciate and respect those people no matter how they're dressed. And dressed in all colors and all clothing, because that's what makes them feel happy and good. And I hope in this position your body also feels happy and good. You can stay as you are or sit up and rest. Take a breath in, breath out. There's another barbecue food yoga pose we're gonna do. Think of another barbecue food you might have on July 4th. Were you thinking about hot dogs? Did you know that on July 4th holiday, 150 million hot dogs are eaten in America? That's a lot of hot dogs. To do our hot dog yoga pose, we're gonna do locust pose. I'll help you come into it. We lay on our belly. Arms reach by your sides. Legs and body lift up from the mat. This is locust pose or hot dog pose. And we can think about 150 million hot dogs. That's a lot of hot dogs. And we can think about the ways that we help people who are hungry by providing food or donations and feeding our friends and neighbors. And we can think about all the ways that we help our neighbors and people who have less than we do. So let's take a breath in, breath out, and imagine that we're sending support to people who have less than we do. And rest. You can lay on your mat or sit up, whatever feels better. Only 2 more yoga poses. Our next yoga pose has to do with the barbecue. It's a grill. Can we make our bodies like a grill? Well, not exactly. But a grill reminds us that we can chill. We can relax. So we're going to do a stretch to help our bodies chill. You can sit on your mat. Legs out in front. Sit tall. Reach your arms up. Breathe in. And then fold forward. This is seated forward fold. And you might get a stretch feeling in your muscles behind your legs. You might get a stretch feeling in your back muscles. Some people like to try to touch their nose to their knees. And it's okay if it doesn't touch. Let's chill here like a grill. 3 breaths. When you're ready, sit up. Easy seat rest. We're coming into our last yoga pose now. Blanket. You can use a real blanket as you lay down into resting pose, or you can imagine your favorite blanket over you as you relax in the sunshine. As we come into blanket pose, we are going to be still and rest. Your body has worked hard today. We have done a lot of yoga poses. Now is the time to rest. Find a comfortable position. If you'd like to, close your eyes and imagine a summer sky. What color is the sky? Imagine the clouds. Maybe there are many clouds or no clouds. And if there are clouds, you can imagine what color they are. If they're staying still or gently passing by, just blowing across the sky. Imagine the sun shining on a July 4th, feeling warm on your skin as you relax. Here we rest for 10 slow, deep breaths, as quiet as we can be. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Wake your body up slowly. Maybe take a big stretch. You can curl to one side and come up to a comfortable seated position. Just at your own time. Eyes can still be closed or looking down. Let's notice how our body feels after working so hard. So many poses today. Let's notice how our mind feels after resting. Now let's focus our minds. We're going to focus and remember what I taught you at the beginning of this practice. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Let's say it together. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Now, there are many ways to sing a song. We're going to sing our own Loka song 3 times together. You can just follow along or make up your own version too. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. Let's try it. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. One more time. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And we practice kindness. May our own thoughts, may our own words, and may our own actions help others be happy and free. Give yourself a great big hug. That is an awesome yoga practice. Oh, I love you, body. Reach your arms up. I love you, mind, for being creative and strong and flexible. And I love you, heart, for being kind and caring, for looking out for other people, and for standing up for what we believe in. And so we end today by saying Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May my own thoughts, words, and actions contribute to their happiness and freedom. Namaste, friends. Have a wonderful holiday week. I'll see you next week for more yoga. Bye.